Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wake Up. Today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2019, where I'm in need of making my first official correction thanks to Steve Carell, who surprised fans to open the inaugural Kelly Clarkson show yesterday.
From Universal Studios in Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Clarkson!
Here is your rundown of the entertainment and media biz stories to know as you start your day. Today's Wake Up brought to you by Samsung's new Galaxy Note 10, with new features like an intelligent S Pen, which doesn't even need to be on the screen to move images, a pro-grade camera with video bokeh, that cool thing you can kind of, soften or blur out the background behind your picture subject thing, 5G live streaming capability, and the ability to fully charge your phone for the day in just 30 minutes, a wonder skill to have at any film festival. And now, onto the morning's top stories. AT&T became the target of a, quote, activist investment yesterday, with hedge fund Elliott Management Corporation taking a $3.2 billion stake in the company. They released a 23-page, what I guess you call advice memo. Basically, they think questionable merger and acquisition choices and a subsequent lack of a clear direction with the acquired properties, such as DirecTV and Warner Media, have left the company undervalued and see a way to unlock some potential in the stock. I mean, the company. Translation, while $3.2 billion sounds impressive, it's only 1.2% of the company, so the firm's actual influence may be a bit limited, but they're planting ideas and starting chatter, so there may be top-line executive changes to come in the days ahead, depending upon how this all shakes out. Either way, whatever stakes were riding on the success of the HBO Max streaming service just sizably increased and then some. Up in Toronto, sounds like Hugh Jackman turned in quite the performance in Bad Education, which is an indie based on a high school superintendent embezzlement scandal on Long Island, which quite frankly I would pay to see just to listen to Hugh Jackman do a Long Island accent for 2 hours. Allison Janney and Ray Romano co-star in the film, although I don't think I'd pay quite as much to hear Ray Romano do an Australian accent.
Hello, Governor. Fancy a cup of tea?
That state attorney's general investigation into Google was officially announced yesterday and was much bigger than anticipated. 50 attorneys general are now involved, including DC and Puerto Rico. The focus of the investigation is antitrust violations involving harm to competitors and consumers. The only two states sitting out are Alabama and California, of all places. Although, wait, where is Google based again?
You better lawyer up, asshole, because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
Now let's get into some other things to note in some media bites. Group 9 Media, which is the home of online publisher brands like The Dodo, Thrillist, and Now This News, raised another $50 million in new funding from previous investor Discovery and Axel Springer, according to Axios. The Wall Street Journal cited that this puts Group 9's valuation at $600 million. The company, however, is still unprofitable. Snapchat is getting political, adding a dedicated news channel for the 2020 debates in the Discover area, according to Axios. 80% of Snapchat users are 18 and over, meaning at least eligible to vote. Aside Snapchat Note, you can now share your favorite songs, albums, and podcasts directly from Spotify. Speaking of phone apps, Starbucks is developing its first pickup-only store in New York City, according to Bloomberg, no doubt across the street from an existing Starbucks. If the square footage reducing store concept is successful, the company will look to roll it out in other cities in the U.S. Over 17 million Americans use the Starbucks app, where 40% of its sales originate. A deal was announced yesterday involving some brands that we're probably not too familiar with, but the one name we are familiar with is Mark Cuban, who offloaded a majority stake in the two cable networks he owns, Access or AXS TV and HDNet Movies. The buyer is a Canadian media company called Anthem Sports and Entertainment, and somehow Steve Harvey is also invested in the new deal.
We asked 100 men, name a part of your body that's bigger than it was when you were 16.
Your penis. I said the medical terminology.
I don't care what you said. The medical term is almost worse.
Now onto some quick celebrity news items. Jenny Slate got engaged to her gallery curator boyfriend, Ben Shattuck, in France yesterday. Congrats to you, kids. However, Sarah Palin and husband Todd are calling it quits, filing for divorce in Alaska for, quote, incompatibility of temperament. Really hope the lawyers got a bonus for creativity on that one. Over in TV biz news, HBO has renewed the Danny McBride series The Righteous Gemstones for a second season. Christian Slater and Amanda Peet were announced as leads of Dirty John Season 2, which will be heading over from Bravo to Sister Network USA for its second iteration. E-Network President Adam Stotsky is stepping down, according to Variety. No immediate replacement or next steps for Adam were revealed. Over at Disney Plus, they have axed the unscripted Muppet series that they were talking up at D23 way back 3 weeks ago. Creative differences with the series creators were cited. Over in the ratings department, NBC's Sunday Night Football was still able to match the premiere numbers from last year, despite featuring the most lopsided score ever for the Sunday Night Football franchise when the Patriots beat the Steelers 33-3. Yeah, that was exciting. While over on ESPN, both the men's and women's US Open finals set tennis ratings records for the network. And a couple of noteworthy docu-specials are airing tonight. Over on PBS, the latest Frontline debuts, entitled Flint's Deadly Water, which, well, you can kind of tell what that's about. And on ESPN, the next installment of their 30 for 30 series, focusing on our top ambassador to North Korea, Dennis Rodman. Rodman, for better or worse, premieres tonight at 9 p.m. And finally, the greatly anticipated She Said book from the New York Times reporters who broke the Harvey Weinstein story is in stores today, as is The Testaments, which is Margaret Atwood's sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. That book is already #1 on Amazon.
I'm a motherfucking woman, baby, alright.
That's a wrap for today. A quick reminder that Apple announces the new additions to their product lineup today, and who knows, maybe some concrete Apple TV Plus news for once, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you can subscribe to our email at facebook.com/thewakeup if you want to get actual links to the stories here. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.